All right. Hello, everyone. Just an update here. We are getting our presenter logged in. There were some firewall issues at the location they are currently at, so we're getting those resolved. Be back here in probably just a couple minutes. So thank you for your continued patience, and we will be right back. Hello again, everybody. We are slowly getting there, one step at a time. I see we have a few more people joining us now. Just to bring everybody up to speed, we're having a couple firewall technical issues with the location of our presenter, them getting logged into the presentation app. So hopefully just a couple more minutes and we will have this resolved. Thanks for your patience. All right. All right, hello again, everybody. Just heard from our presenter, Luana. Her location, the power is back on, the Wi-Fi is back up. Not sure what happened, but does not sound like it was very good. Anyway, everything is being rebooted. She should be back online here in just a minute, and then we will get started. Again, thanks for your patience. And all right, hello everyone. We have Luana Buratynski with us. Luana, let me make sure that I have everything set up for you to be able to share. Okay, you should be able to share your screen. And glad we got through all the technical difficulties, power, internet, all that happy stuff.
Oh my goodness. I'm live streaming from my client's office now in Burald Roofing in Minnesota.
So we are here for our February chapter meeting. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Ogg, your current chapter president here at CSINext. Before we get started, I'd like to take a quick minute to thank our longtime chapter sponsors and supporters, the Architectural Woodwork Institute, National Gypsum, Northern Facades, who we have with us today, KM Architectural Consultants, and Mr. Daniel Hargreaves. Your ongoing support and involvement continues to help this chapter grow and provide our members with a unique virtual membership experience from anywhere in the world. At the end of this presentation, when you log out, there should be an email survey that will come to you either directly through the web application of Zoom or usually within 24 hours of the presentation wrapping up for a presentation survey. At that point, you can enter your request for an AIA certificate of completion for this if you would like it. If you don't receive that email or you have problems with the Zoom survey, which has been known to happen, please reach out to us at info, I-N-F-O, at CSINext, CSINext.org. And today we are joined by Luana Buratynski. And she is a longtime CSINext member. She is a CSINext Board of Directors member, and we are very excited to have her incoming presidential status next year for our chapter. For the next year, she will be taking over the reins of this on July 1st of 2024, and she is going to be presenting to us today, talking about Sintered Ceramic Rainscreen Cladding Systems. So with that, folks, I will get this turned over to Luana, let her get herself introduced and kicked off, and we'll get going. If during the presentation, if you have any questions, please enter them in the, you should have a Q&A option. Please enter them in there, and we will try to get to them as soon as we can. If not, we will have a few minutes at the end of the presentation for Q&A. So with that, Luana, it is all yours, and welcome.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you everybody for being so patient with me. I am working remotely and Wi-Fi is a bit spotty, but I'm so excited to share my favorite cladding system of the Sintered Ceramic Rainscreen system. It's fairly new in the market, like traditional building with aluminum composite panels, aluminum plate. That has been around for over 30 years. This has been adopted in the market, North American market, in the last 10 years, and architects, designers, spec writers are starting to become more familiar with the system and taking it on in the building envelope because this is a dent, graffiti-resistant imitation stone looking like panel system that is installed the same way as you would a typical rain screen ACM aluminum composite or aluminum plate system. We are AIA accredited, so after this presentation, you will receive one learning unit because this takes a full hour. In our objectives, we're going to learn the manufacturing process for sintered ceramic slabs, customizations with ceramic slabs, features and performance, possible applications for mechanically fastened ceramic architectural panel systems, benefits of the aluminum cassette frame, which I mentioned before, and understand the concept of a pressured equalized rain screen system and the ability to effectively detail aluminum cassette frame panels on architectural drawings. So I'm your presenter today. Thanks, Mark, for your introduction. I'm a huge CSI supporter. I am a certified technical rep, so it's the Canadian equivalent of the CDPR exam, but I will be taking that in my future. I work with Northern Facades, North American-wise, so I'm your architectural technical sales rep for anything related to Northern Facades with our architectural panel systems and our thermally broken isolation clip, IsoClip. And just to talk about some things for, especially in the specification community, some things I've been seeing to try to get the market to understand how this type of material is leading ahead, and choosing the right fabrication methods and best practices for your different types of buildings. So when we look at the specifications that are coming out right now, we see ultra compact surface, large format slabs, sintered stone. I really want to make it clear there are different types of applications for different types of systems. When we look at sintered versus porcelain, sintered ceramic is a man-made stone that is formed with grinding natural materials such as silica sand, feldspar, clay, and mineral pigments down to particles, compacting using heat pressure with the melting point of liquefaction to form one solid slab. And when we look at porcelain, we think of a hard but delicate, shiny surface, heating a special type of clay at high temperatures used to make cups, plates, decorations, toilets, mugs, and they do shatter, this is more of a robust surface. So I just want to make it clear with the type of terminology when writing specifications, sintered versus ceramics and porcelain type of slabs. Here's some examples of sintered ceramic slabs used in a conditioned space versus an interior element. So a lot of these are amazing digitally printed recycled stone slabs that imitation look of marble and stone and come with like a polished matte, high gloss finish, river wash, like texturized finish. This is the flooring. This is, again, in the countertop worlds, especially in interiors, homes, commercial kitchens, office kitchens. This is a great slab look for that modern design. Here it is on a unitized setting wall. And just to show you, again, about the process here. Raw materials are used in the production of ceramic slabbing clays in origin. And I'm going to just show you the technology here of the slab. I'm going to load this up here. Make sure we get the video, and I hope the sound can play through. Just to give you real time, so the process to make a sintered ceramic slab is all fully automated, not much human interaction except for engineering. It's just loading here. Apologies for this. Get it another way. All right. All right, so I'll get back into the video once it loads, but I'll just, for timing wise, I'll show you how it's processed in the actual 10-step process. So the raw materials of the silica sand, feldspar, mica, and recycled stone are all put in the milling process where the automation comes in, where they mix all the rocks and minerals together, and then they put it in a high pressure of pressing. There's trimming and drying, decoration with the printer, and the firing of the kiln, and the final process is producing reinforced fiberglass mesh backing behind it for quality control in the slab. So what's great about this is a lot of quarries are being shut down in Europe for environmental concern reasons. And this is something that's made from 20 to 60% pre-consumer recycled content. So in terms of LEED, environmental product declaration, this is more of a sustainable renewable material than actually using natural marble and stone from quarries, right? We're using a recycled process. The benefits of this type of material: it's easy to clean and maintain, it's hygienic surfaces, suitable for contact with food, laboratory tested, compatible with foodstuff, resistant to mold and fungi. So this does not allow mold, bacteria, or fungi to grow on it. Impervious surface, so just like glass, with a porosity of an average of 0.1%. Resistance to freeze thaw, especially in colder climates, suitable for any weather condition, thanks to its low average water absorption rate. Dimensional stability, it's a super flat surface and has a low thermal coefficient for expansion, suitable for indoor and outdoor applications. So you can consider this product in bathrooms, stalls, wall cladding, which I'll show you in examples in interior and exterior applications. Weathering exposure does not damage the surface. Resistance to heat, so it's non-combustible. The ceramic surface does not contain any organic materials, so it's altered in case of direct contact. This has the ULC 135 test. Resistance to staining, it's not affected with prolonged staining. And graffiti, so that's include like a wine spill, marker, spray paint. Resistant to detergents and cleaning products, so that it just needs like limited stuff, like limited soap and water detergent to wipe off some of the stains that get put on it. And resistant to chemicals and acids and solvents that could happen on the facade. So thermal shock is another one. Humidity, which is great. There's so many. UV resistance, so the color does not fade. There's a guaranteed 25-year warranty pass-through, but the color stays together. Resistance to deflection, scratches, abrasions, and eco-friendly and recyclable. So there's also an option here for factory applied codium called titanium dioxide. It's an additional additive to the spec that applies in the manufacturing treatment for helps allow for natural photocatalysis process, which ensures the surface's properties. So it gives an additional air purification. So the nitrogen, sulfur oxides, and the activated oxygen creates a reaction that occurs on the ceramic surface where exposed to the sun rays, the oxygen species, O2 and OH, oxide polluting materials, break them down and making them harmless for the environment, where gases are converted into water, carbon dioxide, and suitable salts, such as nitrates. Through this breakdown of polluting materials, this treatment causes a significant improvement in air quality and cleanliness. For exterior surfaces with home cladding, at home or commercial uses, with a surface area of approximately 150 square meters, which this type of treatment for exteriors has been applied to purify the same quantity of air generated by a forest around 1,000 square meters and reduces the same quantity of NOx produced by 11 cars traveling at 30 kilometers per day. So self-cleaning as well, generated by the means of combined action of the sun's rays and titanium dioxide applied to the sintered ceramic surface, decompose a vast series of organic substances due to accumulations of dirt and smog. So a lot of times people have a budget to clean the windows, but no one cleans the cladding beside the windows. The self-cleaning agent allows every rainstorm, carbon dust, and dirt to wash off itself. Antibacterial, so the photocatalysis is a powerful oxidation process generated capable of preventing the formation and proliferation of bacteria, molds, and fungi on surfaces treated with this treatment. The active oxygen species attacks pathogens and transforms them into molecules that are not harmful for health. And this is examples of inkjet technology. So again, like I'm showing, it's a custom printing machine that can print clear images on a large format dent resistant panel. We're getting pretty good with the imagery. Examples of like a monumental type of design you can use with these type of large format tiles. And again, the images are getting better and better. So this was captured as a presentation of a one memorial project, but if you have any current designs, we can look at it. There's a minimum order quantity to evolve, but we can do complex images. Here's another example of showing you a porcelain panel to match the Durabeige diamond scratch finish. So this is an actual stone, and this is the tile printed to match, so an actual stone. Pretty clear here. And again, travertine stone. here is the digital image with indentations in the sintered ceramic stone tile to imitate travertine stone. And when you look at it on a wall, it looks very identical. The print is phenomenal.
Hey,
Here's
Luana,
yep.
Can you back up to the picture where the people were at the wall?
Yep.
Right there. How is that? How does that transfer? How do they transfer that to that application? Because that's pretty. That's not just a pattern. That's a real picture.
Right. So
Great
that's
detail.
inkjet technology. So they're when they and that's why I was trying to get the video to show how it goes through the pressing, the hybrid kiln, and then the digital printer comes in and they would roll out all the pigments in a certain pattern to achieve that image. So it's baked in the stone. And you'll see that with other marble grains. So this is custom printing technology with different types of pigments layered to achieve this look.
Okay. Okay.
And again, same thing with the marble vein. A lot of the sintered large format ceramic manufacturers out there have book matching now, so you're not getting a repetitive pattern on the wall, you're getting an extension of a pattern. And with that gentleman there, these are large format slabs, so you can see the scale. You're using less grout and joint lines. In terms of a Rainscreen panel system, you're able to clad larger areas of sheer walls and a beautiful aesthetic that imitates stone, right? And this video here is a great showing you of breaking strength of a traditional tile versus one with fiberglass mesh backing. So right away, those tiles shatter completely. Again, this is another tile with no fiberglass mesh back, 3 mm thick, mind you. And this is another one with the 3+. So we actually carry 5.6, a little thicker tile, or 6 mm tile with the fiberglass mesh back. But watch how many times he hits it before it impacts. And the impact are minimal. So just to recap on benefits of sintered ceramic exteriors, of choosing this type of material for your facade. So when you're considering like fiber cement, high pressure laminate, different types of materials outside of metal, this is also a new consideration on your design assembly. It's long lasting and has environmental product declarations for 20 to 60 post-consumer content. Endless size and color options, protection from graffiti and criminal activity of like markers or whatever else, especially for high traffic areas and transit. Is great dent resistant, impact resistant panels, longevity, 30+ years life, low maintenance, variety of installation options, and freeze-thaw stable, and it's ventilated. So just a high level to see. Now this, I'm highlighting right now one manufacturer, and I'm going to get into why joint lines are important, but this is showing you the different types of slabs where you use panelized optimization. So the larger surface area, the more panel optimization. If you start cutting this tile to really small tiles, there's a lot of labor work to mount it and also build a frame around it, so the cost goes up. But the more you utilize the large format, the more economical this type of panel system is. And typically for our panels, we carry the 5.6 mm thickness slabs in our wall assembly and a high level portfolio. So all these colors I'm showing you here has different book veins matching and different pattern rotation within that color scheme. There's different river washes, wood grain, bronze metallic looking color collections. So there's a wide variety of color choices to choose from in this type of digitally printed imitation stone looking product. And another reason why here I want to talk about is the heat island effect, especially for built up areas that are hotter than nearby rural areas. The annual mean air temperature of a city with 1 million people or more can be about 1.8 to 5.4 degrees Fahrenheit warmer than its surrounding. Using materials that remain cooler by reflecting more solar energy and enhancing water evaporation helps cool the surrounding air and helps reduce stormwater runoff and improve nighttime visibility. So consider the heat island effect. So here's an example of an expansion of a dark glass tile exposed to direct sunlight that is kind of like ripping off the surface. And certain areas, this happens. Another thing to think about, especially with climate change on exterior tile applications, as a rapid temperature changes, extreme low and hot within the same day. You can go from like a -12 at night to a +2, 3 during the day. And those changes create a lot of expansion and contraction with mounted on tiles. So here's the examples of water intrusion with grouted on exterior tile applications, and the source of water is becoming behind the tile and failures there as well. And here's a more in-depth look of it popping off the building for freeze-thaw bonded conditions. So this is why we're trying to make awareness to the marketplace of getting into more of a rain screen orientation that allows water to vent and drain and ventilate, so this doesn't envelope failures don't happen like this. I have a job right now I'm working on that just passed with the city of Toronto. The whole building is being replaced because majority of the tiles popped off like this, and we're recladding with a mechanically fastened rain screen system on that type of facility.
Hey, Luana, we got a question on
Yep.
protection. How does the material actually protect against the anti-graffiti? Is it basically cleanable, kind of like
It's cleanable. It's
okay?
wipeable surface. So you like
Is
if I
it
have
kind
a
of like
tile,
anti-graffiti? I think like the paints and stuff you see, is it the same type of technology just on the panel?
yes, yes. So it's baked into the stone where like it's an impervious surface. So when you write chemicals on the thing, you just need a mild soap and detergent and like a scrubbing method. There's procedures and it can wash off. So you don't have to repaint the tile or anything. It does come off. And it would be great. I normally have a test where we put wine on it, we put marker, we torch the panel in a live demonstration, and we get a screwdriver too, and we hack it and you can see sparks fly. It's pretty scary, but and you
Wow.
see the marks
Okay.
on that. Yeah, the live demos, I used to come out with my screwdriver and really show you how you hack it out. But there, so it's a robust surface, especially for high areas of impact in traffic. Um, and I just want to highlight rain screen design basics. So we're members of the Rain Screen North America Association, RAINA, and there are two basic types of rain screens as classified by the American Architectural Manufacturers Association. So there's the back ventilated rain screen and the pressure equalized rain screen system. So a well-designed, tested, and back ventilated rain screen can stop over 90% of the water that could potentially reach the air and vapor barrier of the building, and remains less than 10% of the water is gradually dissipated through the combined actions of gravity, drainage, and air circulation evaporation. The pressure equalized rain screen systems completely prevent water from reaching the building's air and vapor pressure by compartmentalizing the cavity. So these type of ones here is what the system that I'm trying to highlight, aluminum cassette frame systems, where the wind enters through the joints of the cladding and instantly fills the sealed cavity compartments of the cavity wall and the cavity and the cladding and the wall behind it. And as a result, the compartment's pressure equalizes to the outside pressure, and the rain can back vent and dredge out. Things to consider: the wind load in your region, dead load, ease of construction, surface area covered, your cost of budget as well, because envelope budgets are a big consideration with developers, owners, government officials, material availability, and vulnerability of the tile edges. Also, so we promote an edge protected system because a lot of times there's a lot of tile manufacturers selling edgeless systems to the tile, and the edges can be prone to chipping. That's the most vulnerable side. And face fasten or clip exposed systems. And I'm just going to show you a type of cladding systems that are on the market today, with aluminum picture cassette, hidden system with longitudinal adhesion, visible mechanical fixing, and a mixed hidden profile system. So there's a lot of companies in Europe that have machines to build out the tile, and they're promoting their own facade systems. Some of them are not regulated yet to meet building codes in North America. There's quite a few that are here tested and passed a lot of the American tests. So make sure when you look at these type of systems, they are built to code requirements in North America. This is one here, the longitudinal hidden fasten longitudinal adhesion, where it uses elastic chemical adhesive, probably like butyl tape, as well, and silicone and vertical supporting T&L profiles, depending on whether the profiles coincide to the joints of the ceramic tiles and reinforce the center of the joints and bear the support through the retention and sustenance supports. Here's another one. A visible clip attachment systems are used for anchoring porcelain stone or natural stones. And typically this is more like the 8mm to 12mm thick panels. So these are very heavy, and you're using an exposed, fastened, open joint system. Now you may need a weather barrier to protect the insulation behind it, or if you like the open joint reveal, that's fine. It depends on what you're looking at. And clips are color matched to the panels for discrete visible approach, especially for multi-story construction. And here's another one too for thicker panels. The combination of both chemical and mechanical hidden profile systems, which work through the pressure created by the system and of the rear sintered ceramic panel. These tiles are industrially mechanized with a longitudinal profile on the upper and bottom parts and enables the system's central mechanisms on the back piece of the cases, where due to the dimensions of the piece, they're required on the back of the tile with a double groove and a 45-degree angle like a dovetail, where 2 aluminum profiles are inserted and fixed with adhesive putty and secure the tiling. So what I'm showing you today are different mounting options of the different tiles. A lot of times we try to promote back to this type of method system, the aluminum cassette frame, because a lot of installers out on the market are so familiar with installing aluminum composite panels, they can easily interchange with this type of system on the same rail, subframing, because you're using J-trims, clips, and spines. So the 4 modular panels, we use a minimum 3.5. So we would recommend the thinner tile on a second story above for less impact resistance, and the 6mm tile on ground floor for impact resistance purposes. It's always specified with integral fiberglass mesh reinforced backing. So that's done at the factory application of which tile supplier you select. And for strength of the tile. And then the extrusions are painted any PPG Durner color to complement the tile. The ceramic slab is then structurally bonded in aluminum picture frame panel, and it's backed onto either Z-girts or an intermittent clip and rail system for thermal breaks as shown here. And you're making sure that it all calculates with current project design and wind loads too. So engineering is involved. Here's a showing in the shop of a picture frame cassette panel, which ensures there's stiffeners and it's not vulnerable or chipping because it's a fully enclosed panel. Here's a mock-up wall in the shop of showing you the different components of how the system is built, incorporating the beautiful tile in the fabrication system. So you have the aluminum panel clip. Yes, Mark?
Yep, just had a couple questions pop up. Have you seen any applications, or is it an application that can be glazed into traditional aluminum storefront framing or curtain wall framing?
Absolutely. And I have a detail to show you that.
Okay, and then one question, is this similar to a product known in Europe as the brand name, let's say Decton?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's an excellent point. So large format sintered ceramic tile manufacturers, and I have, okay, so as me as a manufacturer, I have a great relationship with Laminam, but there is Decton, there is Neolith, and Laminam you'll see on the market, okay? We can put in other tiles into our system, whether it's Laminam or Neolith or Decton. Those are all qualified manufacturers that we would work with based on deliverability, quality in the manufacturing plant, and coming into North America that's already tested their tile for compliancy. And we test our system around that, right? So right now my system that I'm highlighting today is tested with Laminam, but I can accommodate Decton or Neolith in here as well.
Thank you.
And a lot of this is driven by the architect owner's preference of the look of the tile, and then we put it in our system, right? It's all the color. So going back to the hardware of the fabrication component. So similar to aluminum composite or plates panel style. You got your panel clip. You got your fastener that backs into the substrate of your traditional girt assembly. This can be, if you don't need thermal clip, let's say you're doing a retrofit of a building and you just want to cover up brick or precast, you can just overclad and have just a traditional like hat channel and attach to it. So that's not a problem as well. I'll show you examples of overcladding projects completed. Then you have your panel frame perimeter extrusion. And then the spline, which is very important, and it's always a nominal joint of 13 millimeters, and that's because the trades have to get back in and drill to the substrate there to lock in the panel system. And obviously there's weepholes here to allow the venting and draining of the panel. So therefore you got wind resistance, water, moisture protection, and everything back vents and drains properly in the system. And then again, the hanging on the panel clip of the system, right? So looking at compartmentalizing behind the wall, behind the panel. So there's the panel clips that click onto the girt. And this just shows you the rain screen compartmentalization of the water and air vapor barrier being back veined and drained through the system. Suitable for high-rise construction, and I'm going to show you some examples of transit. This was one of our massive projects. We got 13 stations with the Ottawa Light Rail Transit, 100,000 square feet of material with aluminum plate panels as well, and also the glazing as well. So just to looking back, it's an alternative to solid stone, granite, marble, cementous materials, natural metals, and fiber cement products. It's lightweight. So the average weight on the 5.6 millimeter panel is about 6 pounds per square foot. The 3.5 millimeter planks are 3 pounds per square foot. You have a wide range of quality finishes and textures, durable natural material, existing installations in extreme climates, especially in the freeze thaw and like the hot UV resistance. This is great. Non-combustible as well. And we meet the AMA 508, 509, ASHRAE 90.1 tested. It's lightweight and it's a modular panel construction, so very economical. You're covering a large surface area at a time when using the large format panels. And we always make sure it's bonded with fiberglass mesh backing to ensure breakage doesn't happen. So the joints, the aluminum frames can be black anodized as standard or painted any color to match. And here's more building envelope testing, the AMA 508, 509 rain testing, air leakage, standard testing for structural performance, and the ULC 135 determination of combustibility. Looking here is just, again, the makeups of the panel and the shop drawings. And one thing I want to note, each large format tile manufacturer has unique sizes based on their machine fabrication qualities. So the video I was going to show you is the laminate plant, but each plant has their own sizing. So when you're designing a tile, joint lines in your layout, and you're using one tile, and then other people, if you want a competitive bid space, want to come in, it might difference in pricing, waste. Joint lines might have to change based on the surface area of the tile compatibility to your current design intent. So looking at that, best optimization is use the total surface area, ceramic slab, larger area, and so color selection and material availability may vary from design development, selected colors to actual construction executed schedule because of the long lead times when this gets designed during schematic design by the time it's awarded. Majority of the stock colors are not discontinued, or there might be a change with some manufacturers, or they might keep the color. They have the digital prints, but that's where you buy the whole lot at the same time of production slot. So there's no slight variation of color. You might see with a small trained eye that when it's printed with the one batch line, everything looks the same. When it prints from two different batch lines, there might be some slight variation, but it's very minor. That's another thing too. And here's your curtain wall setup for configuration using the large format panels. So we do have sizing and optimized layouts for spandrel panels, infill panels. Beside that, I actually am working on a project right now where we're unitizing a medical building, 5-story medical building with attributes to some of the spandrel panels being inset laminate panels, and the rest are glazing high performance unitized curtain wall. We are manufacturers of 6450 unitized curtain wall, and and we work through supply only companies. So we have worked on large commercial glass buildings. So I have a lot of engineering behind this panel system from our glazing division, making sure that this very integrates well with either window wall or curtain wall applications. And we have a lot of technical support that can help you during the design process, schematic design, and looking at your details and providing like when you do your wall section and considerations of certain areas of where to place the panel, your join lines, or detailing back like thermal breaks or different placements to hang the panels, we can review that. It's all free of charge. You just talk to me, I send it back to my design team, and we can help you build out a solid set of bid documents that everything matches and aligns with the system, right? So there's no variance. So in a perfect world, less RFIs, it's a clear drawing package and bid package that works through the whole system, right? And you get your design intent that you like. And this is just an example of detailing on a facade system. There's different recommendations of hairline joints, corner sizing, that's just options. Other mounting options, if you don't need thermal clips and it's not code required, you can use hat channels, Z-girts. And here we're getting into the nitty gritty of the typical details. So your typical horizontal joints between edge protected and edgeless, because we can offer the open joint. I have this all available in a technical library you can use, and this will help you consider on future projects. Here it is again, vertical applications. Oh, here's our vertical here with horizontal bars, and then you have vertical bars for the vertical joint. Then we're looking at, especially for the glazed and curtain wall, this is our curtain wall system with the panel and a drip edge. So I have all these details set up with when to end windows, when to start openings, termination joints. And this is just one consideration. I have other details for parapets, different returns on punch windows. So any of those questions, let me know, and I have different details and applications for that. Here it is again, below the window edge here, different types of applications. I'm highlighting this. So I have all this available to even our renders if you like to use to show the client on how this all works and comes together. It's great to put a 2D drawing into 3D and show the details of where it's going. And again, base details, we never go below grade. We're always slab on grade. Parapets. So I actually have details now where I can actually use the whole, do a 3-sided panel in all ceramic porcelain. It is more costly. This is typically it's aluminum cap flashing or metal panel, but I can do this all in ceramic as well if needed. There's a cap flashing. Again, a termination wall joints, nicely butts in. Inside corners, outside corner details. So this is great. So you can see we love our wider corners. It looks the nicest, but you can do butt ends. You can do a metal cap. You can do an open corner joint. I have details for all that depending on what you like to design. You can clad the soffit assembly, and this is just showing you different ways of mounting it. One thing to note is this is not a structurally holding panel. Like I can't hold on to signs, but I can drill holes in my panels to allow for extra structural support to put the sign through the panel system, or if you have utilities like pot lights, security cameras, louvers, and vents, that can all be cut on in the shop or on site as well. And I'll show you those details further as we keep going in here. So, and looking at 3-sided panels, this is just a mock-up panel in our shop. Here's more applications. This is a great one to highlight a recent tunnel we did. It was a bus terminal connecting 2 sides of the road together for the transit, and especially for dent-resistant applications. I know it's just basic white plank, but this is 9,000 square feet of impact-resistant, mechanically fastened system, so it allows for moisture draining and allows for securing with the wind tunnel. And I found a YouTube blogger that walked through it recently, and I wanted to highlight that. You get to see the large impact, especially in other spaces. You don't think about cladding, right? In parking garages, underground tunnels, accessing, and you don't have to worry about dent and graffiti resistance because these panels are secure and off you go.
Luana, what kind of and I know it's going to vary on application, but for like a typical application, say what we're looking at here, these wall panels and such, what's a
Yeah.
normal what's a normal lead time on something like that? Say from just, I mean, I know we got submittals and reviews and all that, but like from a fabrication point, once the stamp goes on the submittal and says we're good to go.
Yeah. Typically, our lead time is for material from Italy to get to our shop, 9 to 10 weeks right now. During COVID, it was higher with
Mhm.
what was going on in Europe, but typically it comes 9 to 10 weeks and then another 5 to 6 for fabrication. So you're looking at 16 to 20 weeks
Okay.
based on the material. And with our manufacturer that we partner with, they actually have a North American head office that they import tons of slabs for North America distribution. So we either pull locally if they have it already imported, or we have to buy a batch, new batch going to be made. And we have like, we deal with Italy directly. So we will call and say, when is this one going to be ready to crate to come over? In 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then allow that time for the cruise ship to come over. So that's just on average, but I could get it shorter depending on how much we need or how much depending on the size of the project, right? And the color selected, if it's here in North America, or I have to order a new batch. But typically I would say 16 to 20 weeks fairly, and providing that we provide fully engineered stamp shop drawings, you're getting a product that's delivered to site with the fabrication drawings where it's released as per your wall schedule, and you mobilize as per shop drawings from the one side of the wall all the way up, right?
Okay.
And this is available to any cladding contractor to install. We just got to vet out 5 years of installation experience because we want to make sure quality control is done by the site crews, because sometimes cladding contractor will sub out their install, and then we have to offer installation support. So my team, because I'm part of a larger organization, a North American cladding contractor, I have services that can provide operations excellence to come down and provide training to new installers adopting our panel system. They either come to our plant in Toronto, or we send someone out to start the mobilization and just verify any questions they may have to get the job going.
Okay. Thank you.
Which is nice. Yes, because this is still new. That's part of it. This again, this is I'm showing this massive project because there is 13 stations, lots of work, lots of details, utility spaces. So especially with government buildings like snow removal facilities, any type of utility service, this building is impact and dent resistance. When you have like siding, metal panels, great work, great cost-effective stuff, but these trucks are in and out. They're banging stuff. I've had so many, because I'm a metal panel manufacturer myself, so many jobs where I'm remaking panels. It's
Yeah.
great work for me, but not at the owner's cost, right? And again, look at all the holes cut out here for canopies, lights, security, ventilation. Another thing here, again, large format 1 by 3 meter planks, utilizing that on a large transit stations, especially public indoor outdoor facilities. Wind is a big issue in a lot of these projects, so we have that there. I'm going to get into some other applications because this is all transit. There's retail, there's commercial. Going through the magnitude, these are all the different types of stations that were built. One thing to note, we can do segmented curves. If we're going to do a curved application, we would probably need like a stone honeycomb and a different material, but this is segmented curve applications, as you can kind of see here with the redo part. But again, utilizing large format on all these stations. I want to get you some cooler stuff now.
Are there any plans for North American manufacturing facility?
Right. So as you know, I have 5 manufacturing plants. Okay, I have one in Salt Lake City, Utah, Kansas City, Vancouver, Winnipeg, and Mississauga. Right now, majority of the work for this panel system comes out of Mississauga, Ontario, but I do have access, depending on where it's located, like Salt Lake City, Utah, and our Kansas branch as well.
Okay.
Our manufacturing plants. we are North American compliant. It's just the specialties for this system, because it's still new. It's coming out of my Toronto plant, but I do have, even in Vancouver, I have a curtain wall assembly plant, a 55,000 square foot assembly plant that ships to like Washington, Seattle, like Oregon. We have different locations to utilize with our machines, and that's no problem. Utah as well is a great location. They also do curtain wall glazing, and this is a similar product, but it's more for cladding
Now,
specialties.
do the panels come from Italy or they come from North America?
The tile, okay, so the tile itself is manufactured in Italy, or it could be Spain, or where Decton manufactures theirs in Europe. Then
Okay.
we take the manufactured tile with fiberglass special backing and fabricate it into the frame
Oh,
and
okay.
make it into a rain screen panel
Fabrication's done
system.
here. The tile comes from Italy. The fabrication's done here.
Yes,
Got it.
there are no large format sintering plants in North America yet. So right now we're importing those type of materials to North America, but then it's all locally shipped. All the ports and everything now is shipped through one location, right?
Okay.
We ordered raw material, we have the machines, we cut it to size into our frames, and then we build it to the shop drawing. So this W Hotel was a retrofit of a Marriott, rebranded to W. And as you can see beside this facility, it's all precast, and they wanted to reface the exterior. So that's it, backlit light panels, but that is a example of recladding, boring like old infrastructure and making it refresh again.
Are there installer certifications or training courses?
Yes, so we're now at a point to develop a program, and what I mentioned previously is that different cladding customers, some of them are more experienced, they don't need training. Other ones that do, we have our operation excellence guys that we bring in from our parent company, Flynn Group of Companies, and they'll come to site and give the same training that we do to our own crew. So a site superintendent will come that's certified, like the experience of our team. We have a lot of people that are 20-30 years in the business, will come out and we'll book a time with them to train. And the next part of it is our certification training program that's being developed right now in our office, but I can't launch it yet because we're doing the formality of what is needed to be a certified installer for the Northern Facades branded panel systems. We're working through that.
Okay.
But typically we look for cladding installers that have more than 5 years of business, that know how to install siding, know how to install fiber cement and other cladding materials. They predominantly like aluminum composite, aluminum plate panels. They can easily pick up this and install here.
Okay. What I know you showed some of the applications they had, like like lighting and stuff attached on the outside.
Yep.
Are those those locations?
Yeah, I'm gonna just highlight some more examples because it's all about beautiful facades. Yep. This was one of our initial projects with Marriott, where they did just one area near the car vestibule, polished looking, book matching as a feature wall. So as you can see, this building is 6 stories, massive metal panel, which we did aluminum composite and aluminum plate on this building, but they wanted to try porcelain because it was a higher cost than traditional ACM and plate buildups. That's just the sign going through backlit. And this is the rain screen
sign. Are the rough end locations for where say the electrical boxes need to come through the backside? Are those put into the panel, or can those be field cut?
They're field cut. So a lot of it, we try to recommend through the shop drying process. If it's ready to measure, we can put it in at the shop, but if it's not, they can be field cut to allow for this type of stuff.
What kind of process or things need to be taken consideration when you cut a panel like this in the field?
You're using a diamond cut blade.
Okay.
It's a hand drill, and it would be from an experienced cutter that would be assigned from the cladding contractor, right, to do this. All right. And also, like I mentioned before, this panel system is not a structural support for the sign. You need to allow for additional like HSS miscellaneous metals to support the weight and the dead load of the sign through the panel system. So drawing that in there for support.
Okay.
And that's just our corner, miter corner, and showing you how the marble vein and the book match can match all the way through on the sides. Another job here for high-end retail. This is a job in Toronto, so Versace ended up being the tenant, which is really cool. And this is it being installed, being modalized with that other client in a mid-rise retail in a high-end area. Here's another look at our angled corners and the water that drips down the edge, right? We're really allowing ventilation in the rain screen for the water to come out of the facade, not stay in the building. Sorry, I had that one. Here's another one. And this is like when you look at buildings that are predominantly brick, adding a different element of facade materials. This has a lot of punch windows, brick facade, and we used our large format ceramic tile to achieve this look. And the reason why, as I move closer, you see some parallel angles because our system is very rectangular. We can use honeycomb behind the panel and make angled cuts to achieve this type of look in a large format setting. So especially in here, in this little fun little enclave, you can see the angled parallelograms, and that is achieved through a honeycomb backed with the ceramic tile bonded onto honeycomb and a clip and rail type of system. That is also custom. We can do it as well, but that has longer lead times because it has to go through another process. So the tile gets made, then the honeycomb process has to come on, and then we got to apply the clip and rail system. So with ours, the tile is made, the frame is, and it goes to site. There's a little bit of longer lead times for this type of material, but it is achievable, and that's one of the projects we've completed. This is one of our first jobs we did, and it's still standing today. It's just a little area here. Another one with curtain wall behind it, so that's our 6450 curtain wall, and then the gray area is our cladding system with an open corner there. You can hardly see it, but it's an open corner. Institutional, especially for government jobs, we're really grateful that we get a lot of, oh, that was a drone footage, and I don't know if that's gonna link to my YouTube video. Oh, it is. Oh, great. That one works. This is great because you get the scale drone footage of the mass capacity of a community center. So we're really reinvesting back into our local towns, a lot of native community centers, indigenous community centers. So this is one of them that we've partnered with MJMA Architects. And one side of the wall was all sintered ceramic and the other side was curtain wall. But it's just a high level look of our wall system here. Of a completed job. Also, it's carbon neutral because it does have solar panels and it's energy efficient as well. But it's just a nice scale to show you that if you're thinking about libraries, universities, institutional projects, it's a great material as well. And now, especially with local governments and states want to invest in long-term livelihood of the building, this material stands the test of time. It's going to be here for a while. Oh, that's nice. If it gets closer. Oh no, that's just a high level thing. So let me get here and I'll go into the, oh, there it is. There's construction of it. So now you can see like the returns of the panels, how it's underneath, how it's fabricated in this cassette frame. Back ventilated rain screen is a preferred choice for these type of large scale projects. Another one is great is this middle school, the expansion of the gym area that they have. And it's great because this is the when the building was occupied and you can see teenagers hanging out, kicking the can against the wall. This is what you want. You don't want metal siding there. They're leaning on it. They're denting. Great for schools, institutional applications. I know that sometimes you like to have the joint lines mitered, but this is the way they designed it for this type of application to maximize the panel. This is done by ZAS Architects, but it actually shows you like full shear of the 1x3 meter plank wall there and utilizing that for a different type of application. And then again, apartment buildings, we did a custom system here. So this whole new rental complex, Lillian Park, it's 2 towers, predominantly precast, and they chose to do these V columns in sintered ceramic material. So there was over 40 V columns on both buildings, and we cladded that to look nice in conjunction with the precast and the window wall glazing part of that system. A big job we just been awarded, it's in our shop right now, is 55 Charles, and we're getting into more commercial mixed use developments for high-rise assemblies, and this product is great for podiums, right? Mixed use residence where there's window wall, metal panel glazed up the building, and the podium is used for office, mixed use commercial, maybe a community center in there, a lot of different aspects as well. And that's our cladding system. Another amenity spaces. You can clad this for indoor, outdoor amenity spaces, and it looks beautiful, right? So this is also under construction right now. I love how they put the Wolf of Wall Street in their rendering. That's different. But that's another aspect, using rain screen cladding in amenity spaces, especially where pools are. And just to recap, so the manufacturing process for sintered ceramic slabs is state-of-the-art, environmentally sustainable. Various options for customizations and ceramic slabs. It's the next generation for high-performance exterior facade systems. Because this is a new product, I'm showing you where we're at with the market. Getting a full high-rise tower, it's all due for the owner's cost constraint, because it is higher than traditional metal panel and wall assemblies. But for like mid-rise commercial buildings, owner base, this is great. Especially for if you're looking at condos as well and you want to invest in long-term facade, this is a great product. Material costs vary based on how you design the building. So we have, if you want me to provide high-level budgets, if you're considering this application on your next facade, I can totally provide high-level budgets to see if we even fit in, and give recommendations on other options as well if this is not the right product that meets the budget. We're typically in the same ranges of fiber cement material costs, but it's all a matter of getting in early and seeing if this is the right system for you, and maximizing the large format panels is a big thing to reduce rate. And why we chose aluminum cassette panel framing is because the process is easy for majority of the cladding contractors to pick up and install. It typically takes on a 1x3 meter 2 guys to install a panel, but once you get going, it's very easy to install, and you're covering a larger surface area on a wall itself. Any other questions from the team?
Let's see, let me look through the list here.
And one project, I'm surprised it wasn't in here. I have jobs completed in the States. We're almost done Muckleshoot Casino. I'm through the last CSI conference a couple years ago. This really cute center, and I don't know if it's not in here. Just seeing if it's in here. My presentation. Here. Another thing I showed a lot is thermal clips. So to get a system that's code compliant, it's really good to think about how well your total system is performing. We do offer a thermal clip to meet ASHRAE 90.1 compliance. So that is something, if you're looking at a highly higher performing thermal building that's going to be carbon ready, or you have targeted R values higher than R15, R25, the intermittent clips and rails, thermal clips should be considered in your design path and working with the bigger team. So you have the cladding manufacturer, the fabricator for the rain screen panels. We have the tile manufacturer as well, and then the thermal clip manufacturer, and also your air vapor barrier and your type of insulation you're selecting as well to make it a whole unified system approach when you look at the wall cavity itself. So stuff like that, if you need installer level supply and install budgets for the whole wall cavity, I can do that as well. And with products you're choosing, or I can just price out the material of just the facade system attaching to the subframing. And we really want to promote continuous insulation and high performance, easy to install wall cladding through clips and rails with adjustability, so you can make sure your walls are straight through that. But as I'm just pulling up here, I want to highlight our American project, Roger Williams Gateway. This still not working.
Yeah, I think on that on the process video there, Luana, if you can if you want to send me the link once that thing gets working, if you know where it's
Yeah.
at, I've got the list of attendees and we can send it out to everybody.
Yes. So this one here, I'm just pulling up the Google images, is our sintered ceramic system. And you can see the Google here. We did triangular angles, but it's a great welcome center in Providence, Rhode Island, of our product being designed in as well. So this is completed. I can share a list of projects in the States that have used us. We've done a part of a medical building in Ohio. So it's very new to the North American market, the rain screen system, but there are jobs coming and being completed with onboarding as I continue the architectural work.
Awesome. Awesome. Well,
Yes.
this has been very educational, very informative. I
Awesome.
know we got every question we had answered. Luana, thank you very, very much. Very happy that you are a CSINext member and you are going to be leading us next year as president of the chapter.
I'm
And
excited.
we are up against, actually we ran a little long, but we had some technical difficulties, so we're all good. Thank you everybody for attending. Our next chapter meeting will be on March, I believe, Wednesday the 20th. For those of you that were at the CSI conference in October, Hugh Seaton will be joining us, and Hugh did an excellent presentation there on Chat GPT and the influence of AI in our industry. He is going to be joining us next month for our presentation, so I expect that to be excellent. I know the presentation at the conference was off the charts, very well received. So again, Luana, thank you for your time. Thank you everybody for staying with us even through the technical difficulties, and we will see everyone next month. Thanks, bye. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.